Jericho in what is going to be the rubber match between the two of them. AJ Styles picked up a victory on Monday Night Raw. Chris Jericho picked up a victory on SmackDown. AJ Styles this past Monday, he said, hey, I want to face you in a rematch at FastLane, and then Jericho said, you're on. So, with that being said, AJ Styles is both the picks for Max and Spencer. I'm going with Styles. I say that Styles is one of those guys that, he's going to be put over so far with Jericho and with The Miz. So Styles is definitely going to be picking up the victory, and it's a possibility that they might do Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler at, not Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. There we go. So Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch teaming up against Naomi and Tamina, the former Team Bad. So both of them have picked Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. This one's actually a bit of a tough one because I'm thinking to myself, well, the obvious one is Sasha and Becky. But there could be a chance that Naomi and Tamina actually pick out the victory, and it would actually help them become legitimate contenders. But I think I have to go with Sasha and Becky on this one. I think that they need the momentum if they're going to have the triple threat match at WrestleMania. So I think that's just what's going to happen. They are going to have the Cutting Edge Peep Show featuring the New Day at Fastlane. I'm not sure if it's going to be the kickoff show or if it's going to be the or if it's going to be on the actual card. But I think that matchup in and of it, not matchup, the segment in and of itself is indeed going to be a very interesting deal because you're going to see Edge and Christian be as funny, and they have their show coming up after Fastlane. But you're also going to witness basically what they have down is that there's going to be a debut of a certain tag team there, and I think that it would just be amazing for a New Day just to make fun of Edge and Christian, and then for them to say, you know something, you guys got to remember one thing, that you guys aren't the only tag team in the world that are going to want the tag team championships, and you guys are going to need to realize that you need to watch out for every tag team. But the main thing you need to realize is, well, the main question you got to think about is, how you doing? Q. Enzo Amore and Calvin Cassidy communicates, and we have them debuting at Fastlane, and they take out the New Day, and they look strong. They are going into WrestleMania to challenge the New Day for the Tag Team Championships. They also have, Max and Spencer do have Enzo and Cass debuting. I think that this would be the perfect time, and I think that it would be just awesome to see them doing the whole, soft with Edge and Christian. So I'm predicting as well that Enzo and Cass are going to be debuting that night. So, another Fastlane predictions. They have Max taking Brie Bella over Charlotte for the Divas title. And then they have Spencer having Charlotte go over Brie Bella. And I have to give this one to Charlotte. I can understand that they might give Brie the title because they want to, maybe have her have one more run before she retires. But I just don't see it really happening. I just think it would be kind of a pity title run, because her husband's retired, her sister may not come back because of her neck injury, but I guess we'll just have to kind of wait and see. I just don't see it really happening. I think that it's just better to have Charlotte go into WrestleMania as the champion and not have to deal with any of the headaches that may happen with, Brie mode. Oh, man. I'm sorry, but that title of this song just really irritates me. We have Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship. Dolph Ziggler has had 2 victories over Kevin Owens, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So, in agreement with Max and Spencer, I am picking Kevin Owens for that matchup. He's going to retain, and he's going to go to WrestleMania to face maybe Styles and Jericho for the title. I mean, I think that they actually predicted. Adam Blomby actually made the prediction going into He actually made this booking of having AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, where Chris Jericho picks up the victory and picks up his 10th his 10th Intercontinental title reign. I think it'd be interesting to see. But from there, it's going to be the Wyatt family against the quote-unquote Titans in Big Show, Kane, and Ryback. This matchup, boy. Like I said, it would have been bigger if you had The Undertaker put into it, and then you could have Bray pick up the victory. But I got to go with the Wyatt family, even though Max went with Big Show, Kane, and Ryback. I see them picking up a huge victory, and, well, not really a huge victory. If you mean huge by, if you mean huge by, these guys are huge, so I guess you could say that. And they're not really considered Titans, though. That's the problem. So, main event time, in which we have the winner of this triple threat match going to face Triple H at WrestleMania. They have Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar. I have to go with Dean Ambrose. I'm agreeing with Spencer on this one, even though Max is picking Roman Reigns. The reason why is because I think that on this event, this will be the time where Roman Reigns finally turns heel. He has not shown any indications that he would turn heel, but that's the beauty of it. Because it would just be one of those things where it would just be like, bam, out of nowhere, he turns heel. It just makes the most... It's just one of those things where it just would be awesome for him, and then for him to go heel and face The Undertaker at WrestleMania, that would be very interesting to say the least, because people need to realize that it would just be that much better to have Roman Reigns come in as the heel, taking on the biggest badass of the entire company in The Undertaker. And can you imagine if Roman Reigns were to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania? The amount of nuclear heat that he would have, not only because he is the chosen one to be the next guy, he is going to be that person who beat The Undertaker for his second loss, and that's still a big deal. I mean, for The Undertaker to lose twice at WrestleMania, that is still a major big deal for a lot of people, because he rarely loses at WrestleMania. He's always winning, except for WrestleMania 30. So it would be kind of a bittersweet moment for Roman Reigns, because he wins at WrestleMania, but it was in Undertaker's hometown of Dallas. So, well, home state, whatever. But that is the predictions for FastLane. So going to go finally wrapping this up with the best rivalries of 2009 to 2011. So 2009, the year of WrestleMania 25, which was a very interesting year to say the least, but the year really was highlighted by one man and one man only, and that was Randy Orton. Randy Orton had one of the best years of his careers, in which he won the Royal Rumble. He went on to WrestleMania to face Triple H, losing effort, but still. He would go on to he would then go on to win the title at Backlash, and he would hold the title 3 times that year. And the feud that really capped off this year was Randy Orton versus John Cena. And I know, a lot of people are going to be saying, well, isn't that like so many, where they finally decided to do Randy Orton versus Cena every single damn pay-per-view? Yes, they did. The thing is, though, these were the best matches that they had. I mean, my God, they had a WrestleMania rematch at the Night of Champions event. They had Randy Orton versus Cena at SummerSlam, in which that matchup ended like 15 different ways. They ended with Randy Orton getting disqualified, then getting counted out, and then they had to reset it because Randy Orton has foot on the ropes. And then finally, Randy Orton came out victorious. Then they went on to Breaking Point to have a very brutal I Quit match. I think that was one of the very last brutal I Quit matches I can remember. for the WWE title, in which Randy Orton quit in one of the most unique fashions, in which Randy Orton and Cena were handcuffed to each other, and Cena basically tugged Randy Orton's arm over his head, and it looked like Randy Orton's head was just going to pop right off of his shoulders, until you just heard him say, "Ah, I quit, I quit, I quit." Finally, Randy Orton is dethroned as the WWE Champion. John Cena was victorious until next month, where Randy Orton beat Cena in the Hell in a Cell matchup. And then they had one more matchup, in theory, against each other in an Iron Man matchup, which again was a great matchup. Randy Orton and Cena tore the house down, and they did so well. Randy Orton would unfortunately be one-upped by John Cena, and Cena would go on to lose the title at TLC, and he would go on to face Randy Orton the following night. And the reason why they had this matchup was because they were doing this random Superstar of the Year tournament deal, in which, the winners of one matchup faced off against the winner of another matchup, and ironically, it turned out to be Cena versus Orton. And Michael Cole pointed out in the middle, it's like, yes, we know they were supposed to face off, it was supposed to be the last time they faced off, but at the same time, they just, they're facing off for something that seemingly is somehow as big a prize as the WWE title, and that's a Slammy Award. Anyway, so go on to 2010. 2010 was the year of WrestleMania 26, in which we saw Batista and Cena actually have very interesting matchups. And by interesting, I mean John Cena duct taped Batista's feet to the ring post to win a last man standing match. And then he threw Batista off of a car. And is that the rivalry of the year? No. The rivalry of the year of 2010, I give that to CM Punk and Rey Mysterio, because there was a story behind it. Everything that went down was great. The matches in and of itself were just amazing. If you remember the WrestleMania matchup, and then they went into Extreme Rules, where if CM Punk lost, he would have to have his head shaved. And CM Punk came out victorious. And then they had a great final matchup at Over the Limit, in which basically it was all on the line. It was either CM Punk was getting his head shaved, or Rey Mysterio was joining the Straight Edge Society. But in the end, Rey Mysterio came out victorious and shaved CM Punk's head, and just the look on CM Punk's face when he saw his head shaved was just priceless. It was just about the same reaction that he did when the Great Khali returned in the Royal Rumble matchup, where he's just like, oh crap. Or CM Punk was just like, oh my gosh, I look ugly. Anyway, so we go into 2011, and we're still staying on CM Punk because he still had another great feud, and that was against John Cena. And the one matchup that I only need to, really talk about is the matchup that they had at Money in the Bank, because that matchup was just perfect. And everything that went down really told the story, and it really showed you how much Vince McMahon wanted to keep the WWE title. Unfortunately, CM Punk would beat John Cena, and he would leave the company with the WWE title. Now, unlike AJ Styles, who didn't show up for at least about a month, CM Punk came back after 8 whole days, which was really, really dumb. And then CM Punk would go on to beat Cena, i.e. controversy, at SummerSlam. And he would also have a year of which he got buried by Del Rio, Triple H, R-Truth and Miz, and then finally get his feedback by beating Del Rio at Survivor Series. Yay! Great job, WWE. You knew how to create the Summer of Punk to be a memorable night. That is going to do it for Pro Talk Wrestling, guys. I have been your host, Nate the Great. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to tune in next week. And remember to stay warm, because it is very chilly outside. So have a great day, guys.